I don't need to be a Mormon to be a good person. True, but what I see is on social media is just the way people are living in this day and age on social media, how it's presented, they want to chase that.
By the way, you think you glow up after 6 weeks? Check in after 6 years.
Like they want to live that fun lifestyle.
This is good for the church.
No, and it is. They'll take what is presented to them and they'll go deeper into their research. Like, okay, all right. Oh, so this is what they meant by that. This is what the Mormons actually believe. In scripture, they talk about planting seeds. As long as you remember something that I did because the Spirit directed me and because I want to be a representative of Jesus Christ, I implement that in my videos. And if you got interested in the church because of my videos, I did my job. I was not going to serve a mission, but your video inspired me to serve a mission.
Hey guys, this episode is brought to you by Go and Do Travel's 2025 Wave Makers LDS Podcaster Cruise, going down between November 15th and November 22nd. If you guys want to hang out with some of the coolest podcasters in the game, make sure that you guys go to goanddotravel.com and use promo code WardRadio10 to receive 10% off your ticket. Now back to the program.
All right, man. So, Tao Tai, Elder TikTok.
Yo.
How many subs you got on TikTok now?
146,000. I'm grateful. I'm blessed.
And this is like your third TikTok account because you got kicked off a couple times, right?
Yeah, I've been slightly banned from time to time, but I always come back. I actually started a YouTube channel too.
Okay.
Elder TikTok on YouTube. Go sub. I'm live. I'm actually trying to be a Twitch streamer too. You know what that is?
Oh yeah.
Sub to my Twitch.
We restream on Twitch. And the most I've ever had is like 2 viewers on Twitch.
Oh man.
It's always on YouTube.
On YouTube?
We stream.
Yeah.
And on Twitter.
Okay,
so,
that's not bad.
Anyway, I got a question for you, man.
Yeah.
You're really plugged in on TikTok with a young audience. Your videos are fun. They're entertaining. They're fast.
Appreciate that.
Amongst young people, what do you see as being the biggest thing that pulls them away from the church, and what's the biggest thing that gets them interested in the church?
Oh, okay.
Start with pulls away.
Yeah. It's funny. Like I mentioned before, social media is a double-edged sword. Mm-hmm. It's so good, but it's so bad. And I truly feel like what pulls away people my age is this I don't want to say false sense, but this sense of independency and the sense of like, I can make God whatever I want it to be and I can live my truth, right? Okay. God's gonna love me no matter what. And, it doesn't matter what I do. I can come back to the fold whenever. So I don't need to be a Mormon to be a good person. True. Okay. I don't need to be a Mormon to, feel God's love. Also true. I don't need to be a Mormon to do, to have all these blessings. And then that's where I'm like, okay, let's take a step back. But what I see is on social media is the lifestyle and just the way people are living in this day and age on social media, how it's presented, they want to chase that. Or they are very impressionable. A lot of people my age are very impressionable. They see their celebrities or they see people that are living these lavish lives. My life got so much better when I left the Mormon church.
Oh, the false ex-Mormon, anti-Mormon glow up.
Boom.
That's like, wow, so you figured out that if you have a square face, you shouldn't wear round glasses. And you also realized that a part came out of style.
Right.
Congratulations, you realized bangs don't work with your facial structure.
There you go.
That's not leaving the church that did that to you.
100%.
By the way, you think you glow up after 6 weeks? Check in after 6 years. And let's see what all the booze and the nicotine did to you.
And it's like that, like they want to live that fun lifestyle. And that's great and that's fine. But my thing is, you don't have to compromise your standards or your morals in order to enjoy a happy life. They chase that high. And for me, I don't really need that. But like I said, it's a very, they're chasing that high. You know what I mean? My age.
Okay.
And so, everyone's on their phones. They're all scrolling. They all see the pretty girls and the dudes making money and stuff like that. Also, another thing that pulls people away is old known knowledge about Joseph Smith, about the church this is public knowledge. Like this isn't anything new, guys. And they're like, you really need to do your research. I'm like, okay, then what have you found? Joseph Smith did this. Okay, great. How does that affect, like, please tell me what that does to your testimony. Well, it proves that he wasn't who he said he was. It proves that he's actually not a prophet. I'm like, how? How does that prove? People don't like to keep the standard to Joseph Smith to the prophets of old in the Bible. And that pisses me off a lot because we are in a world where everybody's infallible, from Joseph Smith to Moses to everybody. So when they find out old stuff and that triggers them, or that makes it seem like their whole testimony crumbles. I think that's another thing that pulls a lot of people away.
Yeah, and dude, it's like lazy learning is just so real.
Uh-huh.
And my only problem with it is twofold. Is that first off, people always say like they act like they've discovered some manuscript in the basement of the Vatican. And all it is,
it's like national treasure. They're like,
yeah.
Did you guys know this about the church history?
Did you know that Joseph Smith was a polygamist? I'm like, wow, you might as well tell me that, like, you know, George Washington, did you know that was a wig and not his real hair? This isn't secret knowledge. Like,
it's not.
I talked about this in seminary, in high school, 20 years ago. Like, I'm sorry, this has been out there for a long time. Just because you didn't pay attention in primary or in seminary doesn't mean that this was hidden from you. It means that just like you weren't listening, okay? And then the second thing too is that the first one you mentioned was historical knowledge, right?
Yes.
And then you said, Joseph Smith wasn't who he said he was or whatever. Like, they all act like people didn't know Joseph Smith was a polygamist, Brigham Young was a polygamist. And they're like, they act so aghast. I'm like, shut up. You love polygamy.
Yeah.
Every rapper you buy albums from has 17 girlfriends.
Yeah.
17 girlfriends. Oh, we literally have songs. I got hoes in different area codes.
And we glorify these celebrities, but when it comes to Joe Smith,
P. Diddy had parties with thousands of people that you give money to.
That's a crazy poll.
And at least in polygamy, there was a guy saying, you are now morally responsible for this person. By the way, her husband was just widowed, got killed by a bear crossing the plains.
I know.
She's got 3 kids, and now you are morally responsible for her. And Brigham Young would sit these men down and say, if she's neglected, I come and I beat you to a pulp.
Ooh.
And it's like, nobody's saying that to P. Diddy.
No one's saying that to Diddy.
Nobody's saying that to, these rock stars. Like, are they sitting AC/DC down and saying, I refuse to buy another one of your albums until I find out?
Yep. 100%.
Please, there's not a rock star or a rapper that doesn't live a degenerate polygamous life.
There you go.
And we give them all our money. So stop it. You don't care.
You don't. They really don't. And I am a victim of this because Drake, I do support Drake. And that is my dude. And I know he got songs on songs and I buy them and everyone listens to it. That's a very good comparison. I didn't even think about that. That's very,
Drake
very good.
Is a polygamist.
Whoa!
Like, no,
wow.
Think about it. How is he's worse than a polygamist because he's not taking care of the women.
Planned. Yeah, hey, you right.
So we love worse than polygamists in our culture every day. Dude, Kamala Harris was in a throuple with Montel in the late 90s.
Oh my gosh.
She's on the red carpet. Every Democrat, every progressive Mormon, well, actually, I can't say Democrat now. You know what I'm saying? But like, actually, no, I can because it's a fact she was a registered Democrat.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
So it's like every social liberal that voted for Kamala Harris morally loses the ability to complain about polygamy when she's on the red carpet with Montel as the second wife or the second girlfriend in an open throuple. If you're voting for her, how is that any different than reading the Book of Mormon? It's not different.
That's valid. That's so valid.
Anyway, yeah, sorry, that's just, I got passionate.
You get passionate a lot, and that's good. And I think that's good. We need more lions out there. So, you always been one. So
that's what's pulling them out. So consumerism, distractions of social media. Yes. What's pulling them in? What's interesting them?
Okay. Well, I have to give a plug to Missionary work. I think they have always been good. I think they're doing great. People are finally starting to see, missionaries for being normal people and not just bots. I do like that. But what's pulling people in is just the sheer interest of how weird we are, quote unquote weird we are. Like they've never heard of a church that does all these kind of things. And like I'm gonna say it because a hot take, I'm a fan, and I think a net positive. It's
Secret
a good
Lives
thing.
of Mormon Lives?
Took the words out of my mouth. Yes, and I know how y'all feel about that, and I know how Brittany and the girls feel about that. But like net positive, I think it's net positive.
I did an episode saying I think this is a net positive for the church.
Did you really?
That was the thumbnail.
Okay,
I said
this
is good for the church.
No, and it is, and it is. And as somebody who like tends to like, get a lot of heat and backlash from time to time, whether it's the Mormon community or the poly community, like I'm such a big advocate and big fan of any publicity, because those who are not disingenuous and the ones that are like thorough thought seekers and not lazy learners, they'll take what is presented to them and they'll go deeper into their research. Like, okay, all right. Oh, so this is what they meant by that. This is what the Mormons actually believe. But you, like, bro, they are the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. They took over Hulu, bro. Like, they already have a season 3 coming out. Shout out to them. Like, I know half of them are not members anymore. Like, I totally get that. But net positive, it's all about interest, and that's what I'm going back to. What my strategy was as an elder. I just want you to be interested. I'm planting seeds, man. Like, in Scripture, they talk about planting seeds. And I think that's a step that gets overlooked a lot. I don't have to reap the benefits of seeing it come to fruition. I don't have to get the baptisms. I don't have to get the rates. But as long as you remember something that I did because the Spirit directed me and because I want to be a representative of Jesus Christ, I implement that in my videos. And if you got interested in the church because of my videos, I did my job.
That's awesome. Dude, Utah is actually a really beautiful place sometimes.
Bro, it's the best. It's the best. I'm biased.
Like, look at this. This is a gorgeous vista.
Isn't it? So why wouldn't you build your home over here? You wake up to the mountains every morning. Temple here, temple there. It's like, it's so nice.
Utah's not the deal it was maybe 5 years ago.
All right.
We basically moved a bunch of our friends over here and then skyrocketed all of your housing prices. Sorry.
That's so true. The Calis did do that.
We Californicated your entire...
I'm dead.
Your entire housing market.
Okay.
But...
Okay, that actually brings something up. Actually, I wanted to ask you, because how long have you been doing WardRadio for?
Oh, gosh. Well, it was called Midnight Mormons before, and then there was the whole you have to change thing. But I'd say 2019-ish, 2020-ish.
Okay. How many times have you guys been canceled? Or tried to be canceled?
Oh, they've tried hard. I'd say 5.
That's crazy. You know how many times they tried? 5. Okay.
Yeah,
all right. 5.
They've tried really hard 5 times. But I know, what about you? At least you got literally canceled at least twice from TikTok.
Sometimes, yeah. Bounce back though, so we're good. But
cancel culture only works if you let it work.
He said, sorry, I don't think they heard you. I need you to say that again one more time.
Like, cancel culture only works if you let it work.
100,000%. 100,000%. I think it's so toxic. I think it's so bad. I think people like cancel culture more than the church culture. I also think like that can be implemented in so many different niches. Anyways, because this is our first time meeting, and I've always wanted to ask you this, just because I listen to WardRadio when I'm driving, like to and from podcasts or anything like that. Bro, I got you, man. What are you talking about? Come on. It's just very insightful. It's very good to hear. I know you're a lot of people's favorite podcasts, but the problem is like there's not a lot of people who do stuff like, you guys and these other, like all those in favor, and just all these other great things. But I wanted to ask you this, and this has been something been on my mind. And if you get canceled for this, I apologize. Okay. But I need to know what you think. Yeah. Answer this question for me first. Uh-huh. Do Mormons believe in ongoing revelation?
Oh yeah, totally.
Does any other church believe in that, to your knowledge?
Yes, smaller sects.
Okay.
Smaller sects of
Let's talk about major sects then.
Okay.
No, right? To your knowledge?
Not remotely to the degree that we do.
Okay. Yeah. And I know you saw my video about is it against the word of wisdom or not?
Yeah, right? When funny. It comes to drinks. That was awesome. Yeah.
Okay. So, and then you have seen the evolution of the garments, have you not? Right?
Totally.
Right? Okay. And so my question is, if we believe in ongoing revelation, is it plausible? This is a 2-part question. Is it plausible that in the next coming few years, coffee will no longer be against the word of wisdom?
Oh, I see what you're saying. So the short answer is yes, of course. Really.
You think so?
Well, anything through modern revelation, like a new prophet could say, like, for example, Peter, when the word of wisdom of the ancient Jews was don't touch the cloven-hoofed animal.
Yep.
And then Peter has his vision where in the sheet is lowered a bunch of the unwashed animals. And he says, Peter, rise, partake, and eat. And he says, I won't touch the unwashed thing. And he's like, this is no longer unwashed, right?
Okay.
So there is literally a scriptural precedent,
Okay.
but it's extremely rare. And I have to tell you, it's always of some benefit to the membership. And I don't really see a benefit to the membership of all of a sudden allowing and or promoting coffee.
Okay.
Because there's no massive health benefits.
Sure.
It's mostly just social convenience that most members want it. And I know a lot of guys, like I have some friends that work as law enforcement and as first responders and as like night shift hospital staff.
Okay.
That have, confessed to relying on coffee to stay awake.
Okay.
But I also know their lifestyles. They're not getting enough sleep. They're not prioritizing rest. They're not engaging. Like it's a coping mechanism for a lack of something else, not necessarily a benefit. So I doubt it. It could happen, but I just so seriously doubt it.
Okay. And so do I. But if it's like, it probably will not happen. But if it does happen,
Hey guys, we're going to press pause just for 1 second to thank a sponsor, none other than scripturenotes.com, the coolest way to read your guys' scriptures online. If you guys want to receive a small discount on Scripture Notes, you can actually use the code WardRadio and you'll get a 14-day free trial to Scripture Notes. Totally worth it, totally awesome. I use it in every episode. Now, back to the episode.
how do you think members of the church would react to such a drastic change? The slight possibility that it could happen, are we all going to run to the nearest Starbucks and finally indulge? I don't know. How do you think the people would react? Like I said, I'm trying to bring this back to ongoing revelation because people criticize us so much. Like, you guys change your rules all the time. It's like, it's not changing rules. It's not. But I truly wonder, because I see these women on TikTok that like, I feel like I can't have an espresso and still be close to God. And they were so mad that the garments changed, right? Because they're like, that was the only thing we had to, that was the only thing we had to distinguish us from being Mormon. And now you can wear that. It's like, I don't think you guys understand.
The answer to this question? It's always the same. Envision a member of the church in the third world who's having who does not have food security, and then ask them the same question. And you'll realize how silly the question was in the first place. These kind of conversations are always wildly North American conversations.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And sometimes we forget here in North America that like North American members of the church are really spoiled. We're so used to 8, 9, and 10 out of 10 men interacting with us in our lives as our bishops, as our elders quorum presidents, as our stake presidents, that when like a 7 out of 10 comes along, we think he was terrible.
Nah.
He was the worst bishop. Well, why? Oh, he wouldn't let us break the fast because he thought that maybe it was like, not spiritual enough. And I did, it's like, okay, out in the real world, people look at that guy and think, wow, he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, he's not beating his wife, he gives 10% of his income to charity, he's maybe a little socially awkward, sure, but like, this is the greatest guy we've met in forever. But in Mormonism, we're so spoiled with just like so many good men that we think the 7 out of 10s are somehow subpar, right? Yeah. Well, like, that happens in North America to so many things. Through God's eyes, do you really think he's looking down at us and because of some cup of coffee that he's like, wow, I'm really restricting my spirit now?
That's the thing.
That's the thing. So that can be confused as tacit permission, but it's not. It just means that like God is sitting up there and these people ask these questions. Do they think God's like up there And as he's watching, Syrian babies drowning in refugee boats trying to escape across the Mediterranean, as he's watching Chinese children that are malnourished, they're looking at protein deficient people
I like this.
in Africa. And then while he's doing that, he's like, oh, I see your coffee out there. Hold on.
Yo.
No, this is like, and it takes such self-centeredness and narcissism just to make it about you and your coffee. Look, coffee is against the word of wisdom. It has no tangible benefits other than maybe short-term, helping you stay awake and whatever, but it is an unimpeachable scientific fact that it does damage with prolonged and heavy use over time. So it's better to avoid it. Any one time is not going to hurt you, but let's keep it to that one time.
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
And energy drinks, man, they give me heart palpitations. I can't do that stuff.
The monsters and all that. Yeah.
This is as far as I can go.
The Texas tab, from Swing. I love that.
Anyway, sorry, that's my little rant. I apologize.
No, that's where the conversation was stemming from. It's like we believe in these things, so when they come out with new stuff, it's not a heresy. It's not something that we just made up on the spot. Like, we truly believe in not only personal revelation but ongoing. And why wouldn't we, as members of the true church? We are not living in biblical times. We're not even living in the 1900s anymore. So for me and my personal testimony, I'm over here I would love an update. You know how we get our phones updated every time, right? Yeah. To help us out, to have life move more smoothly. If I was still using a brick phone from back then, life would not go as smooth as I can with the newest updates. So when you download that update on your computer or your Xbox or something, it's the same thing how I view the church. It's just an update. You don't lose any storage. You don't lose anything bad that you have before. It's just something to make the process go more smoothly, run more smoothly.
Okay, so here's my last question then before we end up at your place.
Yeah.
What's one of the... So the number one thing pulling people towards the church, making them interested, is just our weirdness, as you called it.
For our young gen, yes. What I see on socials, I'm very tapped in, and I love hearing what they have to say. And it really is just the differentness and the weirdness that social media has portrayed us to be, Amish cultish, but then they find out about this, and that.
So do you have any success stories? Any specific success stories where
bro, and it's, I bet you guys have them too, man. These DMs I get, I have sometimes a hard time keeping up with them. It's not prideful by any means, but there's
a lot of correspondence when you're on social media.
Yeah, exactly. And just the people your videos are saving me. Your videos are I was not going to serve a mission, but your video inspired me to serve a mission, right?
Oh, cool, right?
Right, and those, that's a success to me, right? Or even a small DM that's I love your videos. I've been inactive for a while, but you reminded me how fun church can be, and it is what you make it to be. So these small successes. Wait, do people recognize you in public in Cali or sometimes here and there?
Okay, so it's happened in California only a handful of times.
But here though.
Oh, but here, oh yeah. When I get into the airport, it's you know where it happens a lot?
Costco.
No, that's where the weird ex-Mormon, anti-Mormons follow you around and take pictures. And then they post it on ex-Mormon subreddit.
Then drop your address, leak the address. Cardin's here.
This is where it happens a lot. In the corridor, when I fly up between the Salt Lake City terminal for the LA-bound planes, and when you pick up rental cars, especially where young families are waiting for their missionaries. Yes, oftentimes there's a lot of young kids.
True, very true.
Because I can tell whether you're anti-Mormon or pro-Mormon by your age and how you react to me. If I'm in the airport and I'm walking through there, all right, and I'll hear Cardinellis, and then I look over, in 1 second, I got 3 really good DARs. Yeah. I got good gaydar. I got good...
Me too. Hey, dab me up. I'm not gonna lie. I got a good one too. Respectfully. I got good gaydar. All right. You know what I'm saying? Second, I've got good BS dar. If somebody just BSing me, right? Okay.
And then third, anti-Mormon dar.
Those DARs are crazy.
I got good
DARs,
anti-Mormon
man.
dar.
Good DARs.
Right? And so what's really funny is I'll hear my name called out or yo, WardRadio or whatever. And I'll look over, and if they're my age and older, generally toxic, atheistic, Exmo anti-Mormon, if it's Utah, if they're my age and younger, love me, want to take a selfie.
Love that.
You know what I'm saying?
Love that.
It's like there is a generational divide.
Difference. Yep.
Like, and you just see it in their eyes. They're just like, atheism took everything from me, and advocating for all of these woke ideas, like ruined my 30s and my early 40s and cost me and my family. I'm going to take this to my grave. I sacrificed for this. You know what I'm saying? And you threaten, like, it's just like, it's the craziest thing.
I bet.
Whereas like the young kids are like, yeah, man, my life improved because of you, bro.
Right.
You know?
Well, and you know what's funny? You go left at that light over there too.
Okay.
Like, when I discovered WardRadio and just like, you know, the powerhouses that you have on the channel, I'm not gonna lie, and this, don't take this disrespectfully or anything, this was the movements when Charlie Kirk started getting momentum. Also, Andrew Tate and them, right? And so I've heard people compare you to the Mormon Charlie Kirk. All right? Yes, I said it. All right, Cardin is the Mormon Charlie Kirk. It was just like these men
Why
that
Charlie
stand
Kirk?
for. I think it's because you're very loud, respectfully. Loud's not bad. And you're very passionate about what you do, right? You don't take no bull crap.
But I don't have the hair curl.
That is also
got,
true.
The hair curl,
yeah, but
know?
it was like these, because you say the younger demographic. It's these young men who are struggling to find masculinity or like be comfortable in their skin. Then they see someone like Andrew Tate, or they see a Charlie Kirk who just stands on conservative values, if you want to go that route. But it's just a man who, like, you know, stands for good, and it's something they can resonate with. So they hold on to you. Like, I know people watch WardRadio on their missions or post-mission stuff. Like, it's just I know I've said elder
in
TikToks.
some missions some mission presidents have allowed their missionaries to watch radio.
Yeah.
2 missions.
That's good.
And one was in Europe, and then one was in like South Africa or something. Okay.
You could clip this part, but are you close with do you like David Snell?
Oh yeah.
You like, okay.
Yeah.
So on my mission, I would go to David Snell's channel, right? On Facebook, I'm like, instead of doing personal study, I'm just gonna watch David Snell, right? And
well,
then
Faith and Beliefs was like the best content for like
100%,
2 years.
100%.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why would I study for personal study? Why can't I just watch David Snell? You know what I mean? And then a Kwaku video would pop up here and there. Funny story, me and Kwaku used to mess around with the same girl.
By the way, that's Mormon mess around.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Let me be clear for WardRadio audience. No, there was a girl on my mission who used to flirt with me, and then I come back and I found out she was trying to go out with Kwaku, and that's how I kind of heard about him. I'm like, oh yeah, that's the Mormon dude.
Yeah, the chick that rented me my car.
Yes.
Like, was like flirting with Kwaku too. She's like, I think I recognize you. And I was like, okay, do you watch the show? She's like, I don't know what that is. And when I show her the title card, like the logo of Midnight Mormons, where I'm there and then Brad's there, and then she's like, oh yeah, Kwaku show. Yep. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yes, I'm forever attached to Kwaku.
Yeah, and that's good, man. No, he's the man. But like, I'm curious. I don't know when this is gonna drop, but we should do an episode when I'm in town tailored towards the younger-ish demographic, because I don't know how much of the older demographic knows me, but one episode I truly loved was when you guys talked about dating in Utah. That one was almost spot on, right? And just the stigmas, and like, because the dating is probably way different in the church back then than it is today. Okay. And just that could be something to talk about.
Let's do it. I'm down.
Yeah. Are you a sports guy? Are you a sports guy?
Oh, man. Yes and no. I love playing sports, but I don't watch it that much. I don't follow sports.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's not as much my thing. My dad's the biggest sports fan of possible. You know, like my dad's like never lost at fantasy sports.
That's hilarious. Let me join his league.
He just
wins.
will
lose to me. He will lose to me.
Yeah, actually, I would literally... I'm going to facilitate that bet. And I will bet money on that.
I always do a buy-in. So, look, I've been playing fantasy for years, and I'm actually pretty good. I think I've got it down to math and science. And so, because I was going to say, I don't know if you saw my clip with all those in favor. We did the top 5 Mormons in the NFL who scored touchdowns in the NFL.
Cool. Rock on.
Yeah, and sports season is upon us, obviously, when it comes to football and stuff. So, no, but we got some cool people out there.
Okay, awesome. So how can people follow you?
Bro, Elder TikTok across all platforms. Please subscribe to my YouTube. If you want to see some Twitch gaming and some more tier list Twitch, I'm obviously on TikTok, but Instagram is where I'm really popping off right now. That's where I really want my presence to be felt.
Really?
Yeah.
Elder TikTok, but on Instagram.
People have been like, so you're Elder Graham now. Elder Insta. I'm like, all right, y'all.
That's funny.
Yeah. I'm actually currently in a phase where I'm always gonna do LDS content, but I want to shift to doing something I'm more passionate about that'll help me in my acting career. And so, but yeah, that's where you can find me, Outer TikTok. And this isn't the last time we're gonna collab with WardRadio. We got some more stuff to do. We're not done yet.
Cool. Awesome. For this and more, check us out at wardradio.com.